Now, the second type of autosomal disorder could be autosomal recessive type. The basic features of autosomal recessive trait is that they tend to skip generation. Right. Unlike autosomal dominant trait, usually they do not skip generations. Here, these autosomal recessive characters will tend to skip generation. So, if the parents are affected, maybe the next generation, the progenies may not be affected, or reverse. The parents are not affected, and the son or the daughter may be affected. Also, there is a possibility to skip generations. It's not continuously observed in all the generations within a family. Okay, and now this one, unaffected parents can have affected children. Right, the parents may be healthy, but for a healthy parent, there is a possibility for affected children to be born. It is because most of the parents are heterozygous for that trait, and hence they act as carriers. And the probability for the male and female is also equal. Right, there is equal probability for both the sexes. And finally, an important statement is that this feature or this trait will tend to appear with a high frequency when individuals within a family gets married. That means when there is a consanguineous mating, which is actually the marriage or the coupling between related individuals. Okay, so when such mating occurs, it is having a high possibility to appear a recessive trait. Okay, it is because you can imagine that if two individuals within the same family gets married, and if that two individuals are carriers, if they are carriers, then it is possible to carry the recessive allele with them. Right, and these recessive alleles could be combined in their progeny, and the progeny will be affected. Right, and the disease condition, of course, will be small a will be the genotypic condition, and if a healthy individual will be either capital A, and who is a complete healthy individual, and even is not a carrier. But it could also be capital A, small a. In that situation, the individual is a carrier. Okay, and most of the cases, this will be the condition. And we have a lot of examples like sickle cell anemia, cystic fibrosis, albinism. All those are various examples under this kind of a disease. Now let's check the features of autosomal recessive traits. You can see usually in the generation 1 there is no individuals affected, and in generation 3 also there is no individuals affected. Okay, but in generation 2 and generation 4, you can see individuals are affected. Right, and there is here it is in the generation 4, the affected individual is a male, and in the second generation the affected individual is a female. So that's condition is also satisfied. And the next one is usually for unaffected parents. For unaffected parents, it is possible to have affected children. You can check at the individual 3 in the second generation. She is affected, but the parents are not affected. All right, and similarly here also the parents are not affected in the case of the third generation. There is a marriage, and that couple has 4 children, of which one individual is affected. The parents are unaffected, but the son is affected. Okay, let's have a look at the genotypes also. And this individual 3 definitely will have small a as the genotype. Only then she is affected. And the possibility of getting a small a to this individual is that this father and mother are carriers. That means they have to donate at least one small a from here and one small a from here. Right, so definitely they are carriers. They are carriers, and the small a from father and small a from mother has carried over into the daughter, and hence she is a affected person. Okay, Let's also have a cross check at unaffected individuals, unaffected offsprings. Let's check individual 4. This individual 4, it is possible to have capital A for individual 4. It is possible to have a capital A from one of the parent and either small a or capital A from the other parent. In both situation, this individual will be healthy. So that's also satisfied. Okay, and when you check this individual, right, this individual definitely will have small a as the genotype. He is a small a. He is an affected individual. So definitely he should obtain small a from one of the parent and small a from the parent. Okay, so the parents, you can see the individual 3. So the individual 3 is healthy. Since he is healthy, he is again a carrier, right? And the individual 4 in the third generation also healthy, so she is also a carrier, right? And let's again cross back into the family. For the individual 4, is it possible to have small a capital A? Let's check again. The individual 4 in the third generation comes from this couple, this family, right? So in that case, the individual 4 in the second generation is a carrier, right? Capital A, small a. Suppose if it is so, and she get married to, or he get married to a lady who is maybe a carrier. Since she is healthy, she has to be a carrier. Then it is possible to have, and even it could be, even sometimes it could be even she is healthy, it is possible to be a carrier for the parents of or the parents of individual 2 in the fourth generation. Okay, so that it is possible to have this kind of a progeny for individual 4. Okay, so it is okay with that. And in this side, this individual 3 should be capital A, small a in the third generation. Okay, so in that case also you can cross check the same condition, same way, and you can also find that this is also possible. All right, so this is the genetic status or genotypic pattern of autosomal recessive trait. So hope you can follow this pattern of inheritance in the autosomal recessive disease. Now let's have a look at a condition in which a carrier gets married to in one situation to a healthy individual and in the second situation to a carrier. Okay, so first we'll see a carrier gets married to a healthy individual, even he or she is not a carrier. In that situation, there is no probability for having an affected children, right? It is not possible to have. Never there will be no small a condition. This is not possible. All right, all the individual will have at least one capital A, and it could be either small a or it could be capital A or small a. Okay, so here there is no possibility for unaffected children, but it is possible to have carrier individuals. All right, but in the other situation, when a carrier individual marries to another carrier individual, okay, this will be the condition when the individuals within the family gets married, right? So it is possible to have children with, it could be possible to have children with affected trait. It is possible to have small a from here and small a from here. Okay, so that there will be possibility for individuals who is affected, and also there is possibility for carriers, and also there is possibility for healthy individuals, right? So all the type of individuals have equal probability. Okay, so this is why scientists say that, or scientists discourage marriage between cousins. All right. And that's about this autosomal recessive trait and the corresponding examples. We have a very example, and the very popular example is sickle cell anemia. And hope you can understood this part of presentation. Thank you for listening.